Hello and welcome everybody to today's leasing training, which is going to be a special edition because I'm from New Orleans and we're going to make king cake. And my wife is happy and lucky enough to want to make us a king cake. So she is going to start off from the very top and get us started. So go ahead, let's go.
So in this mixing bowl, I have 1 cup of milk, whole milk, and it has been heated to 120 degrees. And there has been yeast proofing in there. I don't even know if I can show it to you, but it is getting very bubbly. So in here, I have 2¼ so this is 2 packets of yeast and 1 cup of milk because I want this to be have a lot of rise, this cake, because it's going to have these fillings in it that will keep it from rising. So I have Red Star yeast, 2 packets, 1 cup of whole milk, 125 degrees, a tiny bit of sugar in there. Here I have 2¼ cups bread flour and 2¼ cups pastry flour and 3 tablespoons self-rising flour. So it's all been sifted. It's going to go in here. I'm layering that in. After the flour goes 2 eggs into here. 1, 2. After the flour goes 1 cup of sugar right on top. And then I need like a teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm gonna do a dash of cinnamon and a dash of nutmeg. Just that much.
How many people will this feed?
This is a big king cake. So it calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm just taking a hefty pinch of Maldon and I am rubbing it between my fingers to break it up. Maybe another little pinch. Salt brings out the flavor, so salt plus sugar is a good thing. And then I'm taking half of a stick of butter that's room temperature, and I'm cutting it up into some pieces. And now I'm going to go put this with a dough hook in the mixer low for 4 minutes, and then I'm going to add the other half of the stick of butter at the end, and I'll show you what the dough looks like.
And in just a second, we're going to come back and show you the rest. Stay tuned.
All right, so my dough, sorry, sweetie. My dough is done, and I just put it out onto a surface that's floured. And I'm going to knead this dough. Get some flour into it.
What's your favorite king cake? I know you know mine. What is your favorite king cake?
It's Haidu in Terrytown. That's
what
my
makes
favorite.
it so special?
I think that there's something about these Vietnamese French bakeries that they do a really good job. I really like it. So, all right. I have kneaded this dough. Theoretically, you would let it rest now and rise and stuff, but it's a really good looking dough. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my handy dandy spatula and I'm going to cut this dough in half. And I'm going to start, I'll move it up a little bit, kneading this dough out, or rolling it out. Okay. So I've got some flour here. Just go like that. Dip it in the flour. Now the thing with the king cake is that you want to get 2 really long tubes of dough. So I'm going to kind of shape it into the general shape I want first. Then I'm going to fold it in half so it's very thin. Okay, it's thick, it's thin, it's long. And that is how I'm going to start rolling out my dough. I recommend you don't wear a blue sweater when you work with flour. So, rolling this out. Because it's a yeast dough, it's springy, and it does spring back a little bit. But as you can see, this is really long, like a sheet of pasta almost.
A lot of people that have not had king cakes before say it tastes like a big old cinnamon roll.
So here's my first half, and I'm gonna take it, and I have a mixture of 1 stick of sugar, or 1 stick of butter, 1 stick of butter, and 2 cups of brown sugar here. And I am going to spread this all over the dough.
And this is where you can get fancy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people do different types of fillings. They do either cream cheese or apple.
We're putting cream cheese in this too. But you could put pecans in here. I mean, you could go crazy. You could put like melted chocolate, kind of like a babka. So here I have a brick of cream cheese, 2 tablespoons of vanilla, a tablespoon of water, and 2 cups of powdered sugar. It like all depends on the cream cheese you use, but you want to get it to like a soft, spreadable consistency. I have found that like lactose-free cream cheese, for whatever reason, when it like bonds with the powdered sugar, it becomes really thin and easy to spread. But that is not the cream cheese that I have this batch. So,
and I don't think that's the cream cheese that they're using. I don't think they're using the lactose.
It doesn't matter. I like what it does. Food science is interesting. So I'm kind of spreading the cream cheese into the butter, cinnamon, sugar mixture, and it like will create this like addicting combination once it bakes. And this will also keep the dough really moist. So I'm just kind of like wrapping this back up, and I don't know, I watched some king cake making videos and I saw this like interesting like pinning method where you kind of cross like this, and I like it. So this is what I do to make each roll, because this is now just 1/2 of the king cake.
See, could like you just make a king cake and just roll this out right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think this would be acceptable for a king cake, but I'm gonna
I'll show you the true way.
I'm gonna put this on the pan, let that sit on the side, and now I'm gonna do the other half. All right, so we're gonna roll this out. And you kind of want one side to be longer than the other, and that becomes the one that you twist around. So make sure that you're kind of watching it. I have one of these cool like Silpat roll pats, so it's silicone. And nothing really like sticks to it, and it's easy to clean up and stuff. And my like length is longer than my Silpat. That's how I know it's long enough. All right, you don't want the dough too thin, because then the filling will bleed out of it. So another bit of the brown sugar and butter. So I didn't put cinnamon in this brown sugar mixture because my husband Tim thinks that it tastes too much like a cinnamon roll if I put cinnamon in it, and I put cinnamon in the dough. So I just kind of leave it as brown sugar and butter, and then every once in a while I'll put like maybe a tiny bit of almond paste in there. So you get that kind of like store-bought like bakery flavor. It's hard to get that like flavor where it tastes like it came from a bakery in New Orleans at home. And I found that like a little bit of almond paste in with the butter and brown sugar does the trick.
So if I wanted to, right now would be the time to add like the fillings that I wanted, like pecans,
Yeah.
apples.
Yeah.
People get crazy.
I don't know. I kind of like have thought it would be
People
cool.
do strawberries.
I thought it would be cool to do like a candy filled king cake.
Do pralines.
Like
That's what.
no, put like chunks of like toffee and
Now you're trying to make it something not king cake.
so this one's like really filled. I really filled this log.
Are you ready for the other?
And I'm going to pinch it closed because it's super filled. And I mean, stuff is going to kind of ooze out of it. That's just the nature of the king cake. So I have 2 ropes here. And I'm going to start with the longer one. So I'm going to really tightly braid the ends. And then I'm just going to take one. I'm just going to kind of...
And why do you braid it? Like, what is the reason why somebody would do this?
I braid it because the bakeries in New Orleans braid it. I'm just trying to make it as authentic as possible. I didn't grow up in New Orleans, so maybe I should be asking you why.
I don't know. I don't know why. I really have. I have no clue. But this is the way I grew up eating them.
So, like, the seams are showing a little bit, and stuff is going to ooze out. That's just normal. And then you want it to be as big and round as you possibly can because it's going to proof and puff up a lot in the oven. So we'll show you next how to ice a king cake.
So, okay. So now we're going to put it in the oven. What are we preheating the oven at?
350 degrees for 35 minutes.
35 minutes.
Yes, you don't want it overdone. You kind of want it under because in New Orleans, it's like a gooey, underdone, really delicious, decadent thing. So, I mean, obviously you don't want it raw, but 350 degrees, 35 minutes, you'll be fine.
Awesome. Can't wait to try. Best part is coming up. Stay tuned. Back.
Okay, so by the magic of internet, TV,
Streaming.
I have a cooked king cake here, even though there's another one in the oven now. And
don't give up the secret.
Oh my gosh. I mean, the secret is that he's getting lots of king
Okay,
cake.
so there's 2 final steps to this. First off, you have to ice it.
Yes, so here I have 3 cups of powdered sugar and 3 tablespoons of water and 2 tablespoons of corn syrup. This is actually wholesome corn syrup from Whole Foods, so it's organic. If you're not into corn syrup, I recommend this because it's at least a little bit better.
Whatever. Use the real.
It's non-GMO.
Use the real
if
stuff.
that matters to you. So I will say it isn't quite as nice and pretty white as if you use that like.
What is it, Caro?
That clear Caro corn syrup. Yeah.
That's the one.
So this gets a lot of icing. It's kind of awful.
I went into a bakery one time and saw a gentleman doing this by hand, which was
This is still kind of warm. Okay. And it is now about to get covered.
It was one of the most disgusting sights, but also it was one of the best king cakes I've ever had. So
buttermilk drop represents
very, very good. Dude.
The dog got into something, I'm sure. Do y'all have golden retrievers? They'll eat anything.
No. Don't get one.
So, all that icing just got put on this little
there's way more.
cake.
You gotta put more. You want every,
Oh, I know.
You want to cover all of the top.
The whole thing about the icing is that it gets, the whole rest of the king cake gooey and soft.
Another thing about this is not one of the things where you want to eat immediately. King cakes are best a day after, I feel.
Yeah, after they've gotten softer.
Yes.
We've found that these homemade king cakes, they need to sit with the icing, drenching on them to get like really
for like a day.
Soft and delicious.
You have a little bit of overflow over here.
Yeah. Oh, there's overflow everywhere.
So then after this, you're going to put sprinkles. There's a couple of different ways you can go about this, but this is the most old-fashioned way. And I don't know, for some reason, Chicago does not like purple sprinkles, so you're most likely going to have to order them online if you're going to keep it true.
So it's really hard to find purple sprinkles. You have to order them on Amazon. So here I've got yellow, and we're just going to go yellow and green.
If I can get this out quick enough, you could use purple. I got it halfway.
This is bad pre-planning for
whatever.
internet, TV, streaming, food.
We're not getting
Food Network.
We're not getting Food Network money.
Purple. All right, so then yellow, and it like I've tried with Jimmy's, like with regular sprinkles and nonpareils.
What do you mean,
that.
Jimmy's?
Jimmy's, the like little longer.
Yeah, this goes. I don't know. For some reason, this tastes more authentic.
It has to be okay. Then purple, then goes yellow.
Did you just forget?
Yeah, it's hard to remember.
Here, and I'll make. I get a little closer on this. So my wife has made, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 king cakes, just kind of playing around, toying around with them. This is by far the best looking one, I can tell you.
Boom.
And I can't wait to try it out. I hope everyone has an enjoyable week and has a happy Mardi Gras. Next Tuesday is actually Mardi Gras Day. Fun fact, Mardi Gras is actually not one day. Crazy people down there are doing this for 2 to 3 weeks.
Actually, it's an entire season, and it starts with the Epiphany, or La Bufana, if you're Italian, which is January 6th. So when your Christmas decorations come down for the Epiphany, which is when they believe the wise men actually got to the manger, that is the beginning of Mardi Gras season. So then you have Carnival, all the way, which started in Venice, goes all the way from La Bufana to Ash Wednesday, to Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras, and then the next day is Ash Wednesday, which is the beginning of Lent.
Yes, so Next
Catholic
Tuesday, February 25th, is just a normal work day here and everywhere else, but crazy people down in New Orleans have off and are partying all day long.
It's not just New Orleans, it's Rio de Janeiro, it's Venice.
Don't give me the St. Louis
they have,
and the Mobile.
No, it is way more international than that. Mardi Gras is an internationally celebrated holiday, and it started really in Italy.
And another fun fact, it is not everybody, you don't go around flashing everyone.
No.
That is only on one street, and it is much more of a family type of atmosphere than anybody would ever imagine.
We bring our kids to Mardi Gras, and it's totally okay. It is not.
I don't think either one has ever seen any part of the female anatomy.
No. Maybe some drunk people, but...
All right, well, I hope everybody enjoyed. Gabbie will be making one of these famous king cakes next week for our Fat Tuesday party. And if you get the baby in the king cake, you get a free month at Kale. So we will be also doing jambalaya as well.
Does that mean me as well?
If not you, me. All right, thanks for coming, and hope everybody enjoys the rest of the week. If anybody needs anything, reach out to me. You know where. It's 312-939-5253, extension 105.
Happy Mardi Gras, y'all.
Thank you, Gabbie, for enlightening us on how to make a king cake. And
it's very fun.
Until the next time I make you show us how to make something else.
Lyle, throw down.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.